You are now tuned in to the Generation Y podcast.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Generation Y podcast, where we love to inspire, we love to motivate, we love to push people's stories out. And today we have none other than the wonderful, the magnificent, the actor, the talented extraordinaire, all the way from the sixth. I almost said sixth.
The sixth.
Because of your last name.
I think they're still going to get it.
All the way from the Toronto 6, Canada.
Yes, sir.
Make some noise one time for the man, the myth, the legend, Julien Hyacinthe, everybody.
Oh
all right.
The
Hold
thing-
it down in the bag. Jeez.
The thing
okay.
about your intros is I'm never going to be used to them, ever.
You don't have to be.
For this entire relationship,
Of course.
I will never be used to your intros. I'm not gonna like
It should always come as a surprise.
Yeah.
What I'm going to say. That's with anybody, especially
I don't know what.
Julien
Yeah, because
Hyacinthe.
after that, it's like, well, I don't think what I'm about to say is that spectacular. But now
You
there's
have
this
to.
like pressure, this unbrotherly, brotherly pressure. 'Cause
Of
it's
course.
like, I set you up, so now you gotta like do something.
You got to follow through. It's the follow through
the
game,
follow-through.
bro. Anyway, so we appreciate you for coming all the way down.
Dude.
Actually, you live here now.
I live here now.
Okay,
So,
because
but
you're
yeah, but
recently engaged.
Recently engaged.
My guy, locking
Thank you
it
very
down.
much.
Okay.
Recently engaged to my lovely fiance Kiana.
Okay.
I'm actually wearing one of our shirts. She has a nonprofit called Believing is Key.
Yeah.
I'm plugging her.
Okay.
Okay. We just got to plug.
That's
plug
how you
my
do it
boo.
when you lock it down.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, it's a nonprofit focused on mentorship, equipping, and outreach, essentially.
Perfect.
And she focuses a lot on mentoring young women, and her heart for that is super, super dope, super deep. And I mean, you got to get her in here.
I mean,
You gotta
yeah.
get here and let her
What
talk
are we
about
doing
it.
with you in here,
Let her-
man?
you know what I'm
Where's
saying?
Kiana?
We should just stop this.
Yeah,
and
we'll cut it. Cut the camera,
I'll
cut
text
the
her
camera.
to come down and she
Please
can just take
do.
over
This is
interview.
a waste of film. No, I'm playing. Bro, we appreciate you coming through, man,
Thank
for
you.
real. Ever since I met you, for one, there's an energy about you that's like,
Thank you, man.
for one, it's welcoming everybody, but then also like you bring a certain type of talent, but then energy that just wants you to be there.
Oh,
You know what I'm
man.
saying? And so, for one, we connected from the jump. You saying in December time, right?
Yeah.
And so, like whenever I met you, okay, I'm gonna tell the people this first.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Let the people know.
For one, super dope, super chill, you know what I'm saying? But then whenever you get to know this guy and he starts talking, he just don't stop. Okay.
I didn't realize.
But what he's saying is so energetic that it's like, you know what, I gotta tune in. And then whenever it keeps getting, there's like levels to Julien. It feels
Wow.
like. And I
Okay.
feel like whenever we took our last trip, we really got to that level of, for one, 90s music.
Yes.
Not only 90s music.
Oh man, we went. How far did we go back?
We
We
went to- I
went
think
to the
it's-
70s.
We went 70s.
We went to the 70s.
Yeah,
we went
yeah.
to Seals and Crofts.
Uh-huh.
Y'all kids don't know about that.
Not at all. Not at all. But then also, you weren't even just like, you were all over the board in genres.
Yes.
I was like very thrown off.
I take that as a compliment.
Because it was so dope. Because I was like, no, I've never, anybody that's on Gen Y, nobody's brought up like rock bands. They've never brought up country bands. They never brought
Oh,
up
yeah.
just any of these things. Bro, you're throwing on everything and anything.
Everything.
Nirvana
Nirvana.
threw me off.
know
I
what
was
I'm
like,
saying?
Julien?
Yeah.
They listen to that in Canada?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We
It was
grew
dope,
up in
man.
such a diverse neighborhood.
Yeah.
Where and essentially it goes back to the fact that my mom coming into Canada at 18, she was an immigrant,
yeah.
and she basically
Where was she
threw
from?
us Haiti.
Okay.
So my background is from the island of Haiti, the island of Jamaica, and then Dominican Republic, which
Wow.
is connected to the island of Haiti. But
Right.
she just threw us into, the first school that she saw, but she didn't realize, like, okay, I got black kids, so I don't
Right,
know. I
right.
can't throw them in any school, but she did.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
there were some pros
But
and
she
cons.
did.
She did.
Yeah.
There were some pros and cons to it, but one of the pros that I you try to focus on the pros.
Right.
But one of it was just my versatile, experience.
Yeah.
Different types of music, different types of food. And it honestly built me into who I am today.
Right. You seem like a super dope, well-rounded human being,
Oh,
Julien.
man, thank you.
All right. And so it's not just talking about how great you are, okay? You had to come from something, okay?
Had to.
So tell the people like a little bit about what the whole culture, what the whole like scene, what's the main thing that you see in the hometown that you live in that you will never forget?
Wow, that I'll never forget?
Yeah.
I'm going to have to say Caravana. So Caravana is a Caribbean festival that celebrates all of the Caribbean islands.
That's dope.
And so we have a weekend essentially, and I believe it's August 2nd. It's like they call it civic holiday, but we just knew it growing up as Caravana, and it was a large parade of all of your friends, and then all these like old West Indian people like you just don't know, but like your mom knows them. And so I remember every summer going to that festival, and then there's a street that we have called Yonge Street, and it's one of the longest streets in Canada.
Okay.
And everybody in the city would go onto Yonge Street. So people would drive from the States, they would come to Yonge Street. People from the city would go to Yonge Street, and we would just like be on Yonge Street, showing off cars, trying to pick up girls, just like, going into stores, trying to buy stuff. Like that will always be the authentic memory that I had, because honestly, the cops were like definitely out, and so it was a sense of danger. But it was fun at the same time, but we didn't realize how dangerous it was for the cops, and then how dangerous it was because you could run into somebody that you have beef with. We didn't think about that until it happened. But those will always be fun memories about Toronto for sure.
Which is a good segue into like, I mean, you were telling me not too long ago, even more in depth about like kind of the gang activity that you got into. Tell us like what age that was like, and then what even led you, because I mean, there's an absence with your dad, right?
Yeah. My dad was murdered when I was about 2 years old.
Wow.
Yeah. He was in the drug game, and that literally has only two ends, either death or jail. So so it was a single parent home. So that had a large part as to how I joined the gang in my neighborhood.
That's crazy. How many brothers and sisters?
I got one brother, one sister, so I'm the youngest.
Gotcha.
So there's Andy, and then there's Adina, and then my mom got tired of A names and just called me Julian. She's like, I can't do another A name. He don't look like an Alex.
Right.
I don't feel like Alex is gonna. Alexander, he doesn't really strike me.
He ain't gonna make it.
He ain't gonna make it. Let's give him Julian. So I'm actually named after my grandfather, who was a heart surgeon on the island of Haiti. So he was a celebrated certified doctor.
Do you know what Julian means?
In the Greek, I do, but it like something about the son of gods or something like that.
Wow. Okay.
In the Greek, I don't know. Google
what.
Google what
we need somebody behind the camera that does that.
Like
Joe Rogan.
Hey, listen, add to the team. There's something else to add to the team.
We're gonna have to do that.
Have an admin person.
Right.
But
dope. So after your grandfather, heart surgeon,
named after my grandfather, was a heart surgeon. So growing up in a single parent home predominantly was the catalyst of me joining the gang. I joined the gang at 14 years old, and this was as we know gangs, as we know them to be like Bloods, Crips, or any other names that have actually been solidified in the gang area. Mine was more of a neighborhood gang, so it was more territorial. So wherever we went, you knew that we were from this place and we would represent this place, and we would defend it in such a way where it's like anyone who comes from here is not a punk. So that's kind of like what happened with that. But we operated like a legit, gang. Not to like fess it up and be like, oh yeah, we were legit, like we were actually a gang. It wasn't that. It was what we were doing, and what I was getting involved in was essentially gang life, and we were so much living on the edge, and we wanted to be the older guys that we saw who were actually in the gangs that we heard about, but we just made it our own. And a lot of violence, a lot of, situations and things that we held on to that we shouldn't have held on to, places that we went where we shouldn't have been, things that we did that to this day, man, I still regret. So it's like, that life at that age, I didn't think much because no one really taught me how to think or have a second thought about things. And that came later. But initially, the first 2 years of my gang experience was pretty blinded.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Dang, man. That's wild. I think even like, I mean, we got a lot of people on the team and everything, and they got a lot of different home backgrounds as well and stuff. Yep. And so we haven't really gotten involved at all, like with a whole lot of people that have like actually been in it. Mm-hmm. And so like, I mean, obviously going from, and that's another thing too, like, you know, with Generation Y is like, we talk about mental health, we talk about everything really does stem from, you know what I'm saying, stuff that you've been through, and it's all trauma based, you know what I'm saying? And so like, we talk about mental health, we talk about all these things, but a lot of things that either shape us or break us has all been from trauma, right? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so I think like you being actually in this, do you think that you would be where you're at today if it wasn't for the things that you went through? Wow.
That's a good question. I definitely think to some degree I would have still been in this position. I would not have been the man that I am right now.
I mean, yeah.
So I still would have been in this position, but I would have been way more broken,
a little less mature,
less mature if I didn't have those traumatic experiences.
Yeah.
So, you know, and my walk of faith, and, you know, as I read the word of God, man, it says, you know, taking all things working together for good.
Right.
You know what I mean? Those things that were meant to like break you down or cast you down, don't do that. Mm-hmm. It is a matter of perspective and holding on to that faith. But, bruh, like, I don't think I would have been me. I don't think I would have been, you know, this personality that I have, this resilience, this tenacity. The list goes on. Wouldn't have been there if I didn't have those experiences. So I may have still been in this environment, but I would not have been the man that I'm supposed to be.
And that's a crazy thing too, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, for somebody that is so outgoing, so welcoming, so like, you know what I'm saying?
It didn't always start like that, man. It didn't.
That's what I'm saying. Is like, I mean, like, you going through all of this stuff, like even like talking to you straightforward, you know what I'm saying? Me not knowing you at all, like I wouldn't have known, you know what I'm saying? You've been through some ish, man. Like, you know what I'm saying?
And that's a large misconception that people make of me, which I'm fine. I don't get offended, but a lot of people think, oh man, Julien, he jokes too much. Or he's always super happy. He's trying to lighten up the room. I was literally the guy that would say nothing in the room.
Wow.
You know what I mean? I was the guy who, and that's hard to believe, and I get it.
Like during the gang life, or like even after?
Yeah, like a little bit after, but like during that time and even leading up to that time, like I was a funny kid naturally, like class clown and stuff like that. But those teenage years where, you know, you're being shaped. And you know what I mean? Your view of the world is being shaped. The view of who you are is being shaped. There was a large season I remember where I was just so introverted, so into myself. And everything was for me. I gotta look out for me. Right. Even to the point where, even like dudes that I rolled with, like in the gang, like I wouldn't trust them. Right. Like it was like, oh, let's go somewhere. I would second guess all of those guys, but I still called them my brothers. Right. You know what I mean? So there was always that reserve that I had, and that reserve manifested in a way that looked like as if I was standoffish and, you know, don't really talk to me. And so, but now the 180 flip is like, oh yeah, man, what you need, man? I got you.
Yeah. Right.
You know, so there's that, but that's how you know, man, God works, man. Right. That's how you know.
That's crazy. It's crazy to even see that, like, most of people that are like either in the entertainment world, like either actors, comedians, rappers, you know, artists in general, you know what I'm saying? Like they've been through probably like the worst of the worst.
Oh my gosh.
In a way. You know what I'm saying?
Comedians especially, I hear some of the craziest stories from like comedians. They're just like, oh yeah, my mom was evicted and we were 5 and we lived in a shelter, and then at 12, I was a stand-up comedian. I did stand-up once, and I was like, I'm going to do this for the rest of my life. I was like, can we talk about the shelter season? Like, I'm glad you can tell jokes, but did you heal that young boy? Did you heal that young that's still living inside of you? But yeah, you're right.
It's wild because I think that in a sense, like, even as entertainers in some way, comedians, whatever, actors, rappers, like whatever, you're being put on stage and kind of put on a pedestal. And sometimes I feel like even if you're prematurely put on a pedestal, sometimes you lack that purpose because you haven't healed through and went through the process. You know what I'm saying? And so like for you, what was that turning point, you know what I'm saying, in your life from the gang world to be like, you know what, I need to get out of this and actually do something with my life?
Man, I was 17 and I just had this glimpse of the next 10 years of my life or so. And what sparked that, I don't even know. I couldn't even tell you.
Was it like a moment, like where a scenario? My bad. There's like
no. That's
we need to get out of there.
It's
anyway.
springtime. There's flies all over the place.
Somebody had to go.
No, but I got a glimpse of like what my life is going to be like. Oh. Live got. Let's see.
Check the connection, man.
Checking the connection.
And now live. We back on.
We back on. I think it takes a while for Instagram to do it, but I got a glimpse of like just my life and what my future was going to be. And I mean, this was grade 11, I think.
Okay.
And I was getting into.
Do you want a charger?
I don't. Yeah, I mean, I could use one.
I can cut this anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Technical difficulties. No, this is great. Don't worry about this. I could cut this off at any time. This is not.
What do you need a charger and then what
That's fine.
Is that it?
Yeah, that should be okay. So what we'll do is we'll start from your question. There we go. Perfect. Yep. We are good. Pass due poor connection. Pause due poor connection.
Oh, that's what I was going to get is the Wi-Fi.
That's okay. Wi-Fi? It's probably because of the ceilings and stuff like that.
Yep. Exactly what it is.
Oh, this is perfect.
Wi-Fi, my man.
Where is it? That's it right there.
Yep. Should be Franklin T9. Yep.
Right.
BBE 3A41C.
Well.
Bro,
We're back. Technical difficulties. If you're still hanging with us, you're a real one. Don't let anybody tell you different. My gosh. I think I want to work here. That's hire me tonight.
Bro, I got you.
So
what was that moment, that turning point, bro?
Yeah.
Moment.
So it was grade 11, man, and I was in high school and just got a glimpse of like my future. And I just wanted to be something more. I don't know. Maybe I was like, I definitely changed my group of friends.
That's good.
You know what I mean? Because I wanted to graduate high school, and I was just hanging out with bums.
Right.
Like, if I keep hanging around with bums, I'm not going to graduate high school.
You'll become a bum.
I'll become a bum.
Right.
You become what you hang out with.
Show me your friends, I'll show you your future. Yep.
And so, you see, I was trying to make that last point rhyme. But
Right. No, it's cool.
But that's what it was, and drama class actually had a lot to do with that, right? So
drama class will get you.
Drama class will get me. Shout out to Miss Getz. If you ever see this, if you're still out there, Miss Getz was a real one. She pulled me out. This is, she's like a short Jewish woman.
Of course.
And she was like, you have a gift. and you need to get your heart right, and you need to get your life right.
That's crazy.
But she definitely pushed me to see my potential, but it wasn't overnight. Like I was still like, I don't know. Yeah. But I would say my graduating year of high school was my turning point.
That's dope. And then from there, like, what are the steps besides like cutting out the people in your life, getting out of the gangs? Like, what were the next decisions in life to like? Was it continuing like acting classes, or what was it from there?
Well, I got an opportunity to be a part of a large theatrical play.
Yeah.
It was a production company that still exists today. But at that time, they were predominantly putting out a plethora of like theater productions. So I landed the lead role in that theatrical play. It was called The Ultimate Sacrifice. Okay. It's a production company called Exousia Media Group, which I still have the pleasure of working with them in acting, and they travel through high schools and educational platforms and things like that. Yeah. So that for me was like a sign, because I remember when I came out of high school, I'm just like, man, do I still do it? Do I still do the acting thing? Like, do I listen to what Miss Getz said? But I was like, I don't know where the opportunity is going to come from. So that came, and I'm like, okay, this must be it. That entire year was like life-changing. Like I knew that I didn't have any sort of nerves standing in front of thousands of people, because that was actually that was my first time performing in front of over 1,000 people.
Oh, word.
Like, yeah, it was like it was like in big space, large space. We did 3 shows. And
you weren't nervous at all?
We did 3 shows. Okay. We did a run of 3 shows in one day.
Oh, wow.
The first show I was nervous.
Right.
Second show, I was Denzel Washington.
Yeah, of course.
The third, I was asleep. I was like, I need to go to my bed.
Yeah.
I gave you everything in the second performance.
Yeah.
But collectively throughout the whole night, it was 5,000 people that we performed in front of. And that's crazy. I can never explain the feeling of that. Like, it's just goosebumps running through you. And so I never said that I would do acting or performing for that feeling. I always knew I had this passion to engage people, not entertain people. Yeah. So that made me so selective about the things that I involved myself in. Yeah. And that's where I talk to like actors and actresses about, when they first get into the industry, or if they're still in the industry and midway through whatever level that they're at. I challenge them to be selective about what they choose. Whatever walk of life that they are in. I think that there is a significance and there's an importance about who you are as a person versus the person that you play in a movie or a TV show. You have to be conscious of these things, especially now in these days. The representation of self will determine a large part of your identity and how you're seen in the world, man. So like I think that's very important for artists to do. I'm doing music, acting, whatever.
That's real. So it's like whenever you're choosing a role or something like that, do you kind of like even base it off of like your own personal values, and like you could see yourself being like acting as that person and becoming that role? Or do you you're like, okay, this is a cool role, I'm excited to be a part, I get to use my talent, I get to be passionate about whatever, but it's like what is that feeling? And whenever you're deciding a role, like what is that mindset going to?
You know what? I keep it so simple. Every time I get a role, I ask my mom what she thinks about it.
Yeah.
And it's like, not in like a mama's boy way. I'm like, my mom is the furthest thing from an artist, but she's the closest thing to the truth.
Which is you.
Right.
You're the truth.
Oh my God. Sure.
Right.
I'm sure there's some people that would disagree.
Right.
But that's okay. But my mom is, when she chooses to be, the most authentic person in the room. And when I go to her about artistic choices, she tends to take her time, and she'll be like, it seems interesting. So when my mom calls something interesting, I love that woman, by the way. Hey, Mom, if you're watching this. When my mom calls something interesting, she's still processing.
Right.
If she says...
she don't want to give you a straight answer, because in the moment, she's probably thinking something else.
Right. But then, so there's that answer. And then the second answer is when she asks me, or when, if you ever were to talk to her, And if she asks you, what do you think about it? That means she actually likes it.
Right,
but she's really training you to figure it out yourself.
And decide.
Yeah. Because whether it's good or bad, you have to make a choice. Because it could be a good role, but it's just not sitting right with you. So she gives you that opportunity, and I've learned a lot from that process of how she, decides.
Yeah.
It's very wise, and so that's the first thing I do. The second thing I do like my little, research, and I figure out what the show is about, who's directing it. There's like things that you gotta like look into. You can't just get excited for,
right.
Oh, I'm about to be a part of this thing. Like, okay, what's it about? What's the show about? What's the origin? Like, your face is on this, right? Or you just putting a name on a check, that's cool too.
Right.
You got bills, but I really think as an artist, you move from an actor to an artist. I think that is the transition.
Wow.
You start acting, but then you become an artist.
Yeah.
I think that's the process.
Because there's an art even in deciding, right?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah. So
absolutely.
That's dope. Okay. You were getting into something right there, man. I mean, like that whole I was trying to remember the last thing that you just said about deciding and stuff. But like, what was the last thing that you just said?
How my mom processes it. I said she'll kind of put the ball in your court and ask you what you think about it, but before she'll kind of just be like, that's an interesting take on it.
Yeah.
I think a little bit before that, I just said my passion and what I've always been compelled to do is engage rather than entertain.
Right.
I don't know if that's where
engage, entertain.
Yeah.
That was the line, bro. Because it's like engage to entertain. It's like that's whenever you really decide and make that conscious decision that you really are in it for a deeper purpose.
Yeah.
Than just yourself.
Yeah, because engaging is I'm speaking to the soul of that person.
Right.
If I'm entertaining, I'm pleasing the soul of that person. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'd rather be a speaker to the soul than a pleaser to the soul.
Wow. Yeah. Because a lot of people want to, hear what they want to hear, just to be.
But what's gonna last
in the moment?
Let's be honest. Like when we're talking about provocative, prolific, creation.
Yeah.
Things that will stimulate the mind. I think pleasurable things, and I mean this is a whole nother conversation, of course.
Right.
But in this context, I think pleasurable things are momentary, and they can be great.
Yeah.
But when we're talking about engaging someone, they might not get it at that moment, or they will, and it might be a couple seconds. But I feel like that stays with them.
Yeah.
Like I was able to deposit something in them for them to think about. And I just think that's deeper than pleasure.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just giving them what they want.
I think that even now that I think about it, whenever I watch movies and stuff, and whenever even in the past, like I haven't been a huge movie watcher lately, to be honest. But like in the past when I was, it was like I remembered the impactful movies way more than I did the funny, lighthearted, or whatever. And the lighthearted ones, I had to like watch over and over and over and over.
And they were entertaining.
Yeah, it is.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I still remember the entertaining ones, but go on.
But it's like I've had to, watch those ones over and over because I wanted just that moment of happiness. But like I watched this impactful one time, and that thing was like that motivation or inspiration or whatever lasts me like at least 3-4 months, and I'm and I'm still thinking about it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And you could quote lines that like spoke to you. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I love that about that.
And that's the thing is like even with Generation Y, you know what I'm saying? Like you even watching you come to. First of all, he came to our first assembly.
Amazing.
Not our first one, but our first one back. It was his first assembly.
COVID,
It was wild, and almost 500 students, man, in the room, and no masks.
No masks.
They don't care about nothing.
My heart was beating so fast. I don't care how long I've been doing this.
Yeah.
When it's teenagers.
Oh, yes. Middle school especially.
Middle school. Man, if your heart don't beat...
Because it was both middle school and high school.
Oh, right. My heart was like, they about to trash me. They about to throw me out of this gym.
Right.
Yeah.
No, it was a dope time, but my thing is like you were engaging, you know what I'm saying, during that whole thing. And that's the thing that I feel like sets Generation Y apart from like other people that just go into schools and just like talk at these kids and like bore them for like 45 minutes to an hour long, you know what I'm saying? But like this is what we do, like, man, we engage them, we like relate with them, but then we also are able to like sympathize with them. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so like because we've been there, obviously. Yeah. We haven't had the same story, but we've had the same hurt. We had the same trauma. All goes back to trauma. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
All goes back to trauma.
Exactly. So like I mean that feeling of hurt is like we've all experienced it in some form or fashion. Yeah. That is like whenever you came up, you know what I'm saying? First speaker on the roster, you know what I'm saying? I was
gonna be the first one up. I had no idea.
And you killed it, man. But like, you know what I'm saying? Even afterwards, there was 2 other Julians in the room.
Oh, there's a lot of Julians in that school.
Apparently, and they all came up to you, man, and was like, and I think you were even telling me like you didn't know how they were gonna relate to it because like it's a majority like predominantly white, you know, town.
Yeah, you know that the experiences are different, completely but you could be surprised.
Exactly.
And I was.
Yeah. And so like seeing that, I feel like what was that return for you to be like my story was able to relate to a whole different race, a whole different demographic, a whole different, you know what I'm saying? And you were in a completely different country. A whole different, you know, lifestyle, a whole different, you know, culture, all that kind of stuff. Like what is that realization to be like my difference in community, culture, and conversation, but my story was able to impact and engage somebody that's completely different than me?
Man, it speaks to so many things. I'll say this one, it made me realize that compassion is universal. It's a universal language.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And also to that fact that my story is worth something. There are so many people that are going through treacherous like experiences right now at like a young age that I would not wish on anybody. Right. Like you hear the grotesque stories all throughout, you know, our experiences when we talk to people and I'm like, you're 12 and how are you going through this?
Yep.
But your story and whoever is watching this and listening, your story is worth something. Yeah. That's what that taught me.
Yeah.
Because when I was going through those experiences that I shared at that school, I had to go back to when those happened. And when those happened, I thought that this experience is worth nothing.
Yeah.
I'm just going through the motions. I'm hurt. I'm abandoned. I feel rejected. But this isn't worth anything. Fast forward, now I'm talking to about 500 kids, and I'm realizing this story, that was actually worth something.
Yeah.
That had value, even though it hurt.
Yeah.
That had value, even though I felt alone.
Facts.
That had value, even though I felt like it did it. Like, you know what I mean? Just to simplify it.
Right.
So I was excited, man. I was grateful. And, you know, at that time, I was coming up to like my 33rd birthday. And so I was very reflective of like where I'm at in my life. And it was just like, man, I didn't see this far. I really didn't. Wow. Not for any other reason. I just didn't. You don't think like that when you grow up in the area that I grew up in. You don't think that far ahead. Yeah. It's just like whatever.
Isn't that crazy too? Like whenever you're either preparing for something like that, a speech, or like you have to reflect and low key go back through that hurt again. You know what I'm saying? Because you're kind of having to relive it to remember how you felt, how to like be able to put it in words to relate to another kid, all that kind of stuff. And so, like whenever you were sitting down and writing this, what was the 3 things? Because you had 3 points.
I did
through that whole thing. What was the 3 things that like stuck out to you throughout your story that you're like, this is what I want to hit on?
Man, identity, worth, and value. Like it has to go back to those 3 things. But to be more detailed, man, I would only have to go back into the stories when we talk about identity. I would have to like talk about like the gang life that I was in. When we talk about value, I would have to talk about the fact that I didn't have a dad, and so there was no concrete value to be instilled in me. And when we talk about worth, I have to talk about my self-esteem that wasn't there because I had no emotional backing from my mother because she was emotionally broken. And then I had no emotional strength from my sister, who's another female that I looked up to, because she didn't have a father as well.
Wow.
So, and we all had different dads.
That's real.
And so when we talk about self-esteem, when we talk about a lack of a father figure, and when we talk about finding identity through violence, all of those things had a meaning, a purpose, but I didn't see it at that time. So when I was going through, making this, speech and writing up these points, those stuck out major, because without those, I wouldn't be who I am today, like we were talking about earlier. And, not that I wouldn't have anything important to say, but like my life orchestrated the way that it was supposed to be orchestrated. And so to see me having the strength and tenacity and courage to talk how I talked that day is an absolute blessing.
Yeah, man. That's crazy. Yeah. And it's also like, I feel like setting the tone, setting the environment and everything for a student, because like in that mindset, like whenever you're a middle school, high schooler, you feel like anything that happens to you is always gonna last.
It's just me. It's happening to just me.
Exactly. And like they feel like this moment or this girlfriend or this boyfriend or this like addiction or whatever, it's never gonna go away. And this is like so monumental that it's like they don't think, okay, a couple years down the road or a year down the road, 6 months down the road, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to have this person. I'm not going to be around the same people. I'm not going to be around the same person that hurt me. Or if I am, it's going to be a completely different hurt. So I got to conquer that as well. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, I mean, like getting out of even that like realm of high school sometimes, I feel like even for me, like getting out of that, man, it's like that put a whole new perspective on time. And a whole new like value on like family, and then also like people that are and even just future in general, you know what I'm saying? Because future, like we tend to, whenever we just think about the things that are going around us or whatever's just happening to me, you know what I'm saying? Then like I don't think about, okay, how can I help somebody else? How can I help Julien in his hurt? Or how can I like look, years down the road and be like, this is where I want to be.
You're not thinking like that.
You don't think about goals.
No.
Because you're always self-centered and like thinking about, okay, I got to do something to this person to get even. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you got all that testosterone flying around in your body, all that violence and that rage.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah. It's wild, man. And so like for you, I think it's mind-blowing to me, and it's super dope to be able to see that like, you going from the story that you told to where you're at now. Yeah, man. And then now where you're planning on going.
Yeah, I just think that, man, a lot went into it. Yeah. The experiences that I've had thus far in the film industry has been nothing short of a blessing. Yeah. And it's interesting how, like, when we're looking at the world and it's like a pandemic and COVID. Right. For me, I took that as an opportunity to just, because even from before COVID, I took time away from like creative arts and film and stuff like that, of like auditioning and things.
Just for like your mental, or
for
just
my mental health?
Yeah.
For my mental health.
That's dope.
To slow down, to remind myself of who I am, whose I am, and just really focus there. Right. In the middle of that, I was able to be a part of a documentary that focused on a lot about, racial injustice in Canada. So I was able to be a part of that. And that documentary right now is up for about 10 film festivals. Wow. And it's just amazing how...
Is that the one you were talking about that's like about your personal...
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah. So it goes into the story of myself. I got my brother from my old church named Kwesi, and another older lady as well. I think her name's Natasha. I can't remember. Don't kill me. That right. Don't. Yeah. If she watching this, don't kill me. Right. But it goes into our lives and our experiences and that. So that documentary just literally took off. The reason why I bring that up is it was so meaningful. That documentary was so meaningful that I, to this moment, am so fulfilled being a part of that. Wow. So fulfilled, more than I would have been if I was a part of like an episode on Big Bang Theory. I don't know. For real. Like, I mean, like, it that stuck more. I mean,
because it had purpose.
Because it had purpose.
And it was low key about your life.
And it was low key about my life.
You had to play you.
I had to
How
play
do you
me.
play Julien?
Man, it takes a minute. You need a lot of prep.
A lot of practice.
You need a lot of prep. You got to prepare.
Did you look in the mirror and be like, You today are Julien.
You know, every time I look in the mirror, I just try to remember to brush my teeth.
Oh,
that's the mission.
What's the actual? You gotta give us the routine of whenever you wake up.
When I wake up, you know what? I'm gonna put myself on blast.
Go ahead.
I drink tea before I brush my teeth.
What?
I drink tea.
Like sweet tea or green tea?
Green tea.
Why?
Straight.
Why?
I don't know. It's just something.
What made you think like this will be
I
a
know.
good idea?
I want a hot liquid before I put any minty.
You're not joking.
No, I drink tea before I brush my teeth. I want everyone to fight me.
What, like?
I want everyone to fight me. I'm gonna wave at some people.
No, go ahead. So like, okay.
Wave at some people.
When was the first time you thought this would be a good idea?
None of your business, man. No,
that is wild. I've never heard that.
It's probably when I moved out, and I just had I'm gonna create my own routine. I like tea.
Mom's not here. Give me some green tea today.
I always used to watch those martial arts movies, and they just used to drink tea, and I'm like, oh, tea.
Yeah, they cracking eggs and stuff, but not before you brush your teeth.
I drink tea before I brush my teeth. I don't eat food before I brush my teeth.
So you're not a breakfast person.
I'm a breakfast person, but I brush my teeth before I eat breakfast. Yeah.
But you still drink tea.
I do.
Before you brush your teeth.
Tea is not breakfast.
And then food.
Next question.
That is
tea.
Okay.
Tea is not breakfast.
All right. That's good. That's good. Mm-hmm. All right. So rapid fire on would you rather. All right.
Let's do it.
All right. These are off the top. Okay.
Off the top.
So really, you don't even.
He did not prepare these.
So that means I don't,
questions.
just like your intro, you don't know what's going to happen.
Okay.
I don't know what's going to happen.
Would you rather rapid fire unprepared questions on the spot?
Got to. That makes it even more better.
Okay.
Even more better? That makes it way better.
All right.
All right, here we go. All right. Would you rather have bananas for fingers, or would you rather have your toenails off your body? No toenails, bananas for fingers.
Do I feel the pain of having no toenails?
Nah, you just smooth rounded off nutshell looking toes.
I'm gonna go with no toenails, man.
For real?
I can't do nothing with bananas.
Let's say your fingers are just the shape of bananas, but they're not actual bananas. Would that change your decision?
Slightly.
Really?
Slightly. I'm still gonna go with no toenails. Yeah, I'm still gonna go with no toenails because I can cover them up. I can't cover these up all the time.
Okay. Yeah. Would you rather have a body full of hair, like you look like
a werewolf?
Sure. Okay. Yeah. And it would grow back 10 times faster if you shaved it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You go all that. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So either hairy all over.
Yes. Or
scales all over.
Do the scales fall off? There's so many questions.
There's peeling involved. There's
peeling involved?
Yep.
Oh man. This is
scales or hair?
Scales.
What? Scales?
I can't do with hair growing back.
Bro, what?
Do you know how much work?
Scales?
Do you know how much work it goes into shaving your entire body? That's like a 4-hour job. And then it grows back.
You probably wouldn't even be able to shave. If it grows back that fast, just let it run.
Scales.
Scales?
Scales. I'm peeling everywhere. Sweep. When you meet me, walk with a broom.
What?
You gonna get the scales.
I like the imagery. That's good. Okay, so all right. Would you rather die by fire or die by drowning?
What is happening?
Would you rather burn alive or drown?
I don't.
My worst fear is drowning.
Oh man, die by fire or die by drowning.
My worst fear is drowning, by the way. I've almost drowned at least 3 times in my life.
One of my boys from back in Toronto, O'Neal, he said just run. Just run. Look, man, for everybody that's joining in, I'm not sure if you saw the live from before. I wasn't able to post it, but this is Gen Y. We have just finished, still in the middle of a very, very important conversation.
Very
talking
important.
About life and all
would you
things
rather
that deal with it. I was just asked the question, would I rather die by fire or die by drowning? I'm going to go with fire.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? That sounded uneasy.
I'm gonna go.
Yeah, I'm gonna go
because
with fire.
I don't like water. I don't like deep water. I would never jump out of a plane into water.
For real.
Water's too majestic and wide for me. Fire just gets to the point. Fire's like.
But you feel every bit of it.
Fire's like you're gonna die. Water's like we're gonna take you slowly. I don't want slow. Cause what if water gives up and says, well, you know what? There's a shark coming. So
water gives up.
Yeah. What if the water drowning experience gets interrupted by a shark? Nothing will interrupt the fire.
Nobody said that you had to be in an ocean.
No, but I'm saying nothing will.
It's just
interrupt.
water, drowning.
I'm going for gold.
Okay,
I'm going for the extreme.
You're just in the Atlantic, just chilling.
Who else is good? I'm not gonna drown in a pool.
Right.
I got control in a pool.
I can stand up.
I can stand up. I can get.
I'm
to
a
the
grown
ledge.
man.
If we gotta talk ocean.
Right.
So I think the drowning experience would get interrupted by a shark or a killer whale.
Fire
is. This is happening. This is happening. There's nothing you can do about it.
You can stop, drop, and roll.
You're in a furnace.
Stop, drop, and roll.
I'm in a furnace. Stop, drop, and roll don't work. Fire gets to the
don't
point.
work.
Drowning one.
Never seen Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego?
The drowning experience.
They stop, drop, and roll so fast.
It's too long for me. Which one is faster? Amanda, fire is faster, so I choose.
Which one is faster? I think,
fire.
But how is that faster? You feel, let's say somebody.
You're dying. That's how fast it is.
I'm saying, okay, think about this. Somebody is just like blow torching you.
Yeah.
Like parts of you.
Right.
And then you start dwindling down your body.
See, now.
You're under the water.
See, now you're.
How long can you hold your breath?
Now you're.
No. How long can
you.
So you're saying
a different
you can.
Concept.
I'm saying you got to think about all the possibilities.
Okay, blowtorch. You know what? I'm still gonna do fire, man.
Wow, that's impressive.
Even
though I'm afraid of drowning, I would rather drown.
You would rather drown?
I would rather drown because it's gonna be way faster. You just swallow some water and just out.
I still don't like.
If
water.
you know you're about to drown, that you know you're gonna die.
Fire is painful.
Very painful.
Oh man, I might have to change my answer.
Nope, you can't now. You're drowning. You're getting the blowtorch.
I'm getting the blowtorch.
All right, so enough of that. So let's get into what has Julien got in his future besides getting married to a beautiful Kiana.
Well, that's the only thing important to me.
Oh, wow. Okay,
this is
cool.
over. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. We'll see you later. Next time. June
less
10th, right?
less than 2 months,
June
man.
10th.
Come
my
on.
guy.
Like
yes.
50 days, I think.
50 days.
50, 51.
That's impressive that you know the days. That's good.
Well, she keeps telling me. So
oh, me.
I can't. No, we both are counting the number down, man. We're both counting down. I'm just playing. That's my best friend. I always joke about her. But no, that's very exciting to me. Planning everything is exciting. Obviously ups and downs, but even in the ups and downs, you maintain a balance of understanding that we're investing into the marriage, not into the wedding.
Right.
So that's the importance for me, and it's always an investment. So to know that we check in and we're on the same page emotionally, physically, spiritually is where we got to be.
Y'all be waking up early and working out, huh?
We do. Some days be struggling. Some days
be too.
There's a struggle. 4 a.m. Come on. But down the pipeline, like I said, we just unleashed the documentary directed by Mark Bone.
Yeah.
Man, I'm drawing a blank on Mark Bone's Instagram, but I will tag him. Mark, you will be tagged. But Mark Bone is a phenomenal director out of the city of Toronto. He directed the documentary, and so that has a lot of traction right now. So I'm excited to be a part of that project. As to what's coming up, I mean, there's a lot of opportunities that are kind of like circling the air. Nothing, concrete. Yeah, nothing concrete yet. I don't like how you say the same word as me at the same time.
I'm telling you, bro, we are the same person.
I don't.
Look, show him the chain. Show him the chain. I
So
showed up.
We
No.
showed up.
There's no we showed up. I was wearing this chain. And he said, hold on a second. You'll never, because we were talking about how on Sunday we showed up wearing pretty much the same outfit.
We did.
Okay. And then you were like, let's take a picture, blah, blah, blah. I haven't posted it, but
don't act like it wasn't exciting for you. Don't say it like that. Don't say it like, let's take a picture.
That's what you said.
Yeah.
That's what you said.
I didn't say it like that.
You bent over and whispered to me and said, we're gonna need a picture of this. Yeah. Anyways, and then
who talks like this?
You do. And then I'm over here talking about I've got this chain on. He goes to his car. Okay? Goes to his car.
Because I was going to wear it, but you know when you I'm not going to wear a chain. It's probably going to mess up the lighting. I don't know.
It's going to mess up the light. What kind of thing you wear? Like 10 karat gold? Diamonds all over?
I can't do this.
Jeez.
Oh, man. What was I talking about? Things that are coming down the pipeline. So, a documentary just got released. A lot of traction.
Nothing's concrete.
A lot of film festivals. Nothing is concrete right now, but I am very intentional about being a part of a lot of films that are opportunities and things like that are circling the air. I like what is coming up because I don't see what's coming up.
Ooh.
And usually what you don't see are the big things.
Yeah.
What I have in my plate right now is what God wants me to manage, because I truly believe for myself what's next is going to solidify everything that I've been praying for. But it's my character that's most important.
Oh, me. Wow. That's
so,
good.
When you think about it, those are not easy thoughts to have, because naturally as an overachiever, you want to get these opportunities.
Yeah.
Because you want to be productive. There's something about us as overachievers, some creatives, we want to just be in it. But that tough tension of knowing you have the talent, knowing you have the potential, but sitting down and having to wait for that green light. Yep. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's something about that. And so what I'm doing right now to continue to occupy myself is, man, I still love writing music. So, that passion of mine has not died. I love writing in general. So that passion has not died. And so I do that. So before anything else comes, nothing is going to determine my passion.
Yeah.
I'm still going to keep it up.
That's good.
So when the roles come and when anything else comes, that's not going to make me happier.
Yep.
It's just going to bring me closer to my goals.
Yeah.
It's not going to make me happy, though.
It's not going to define you.
It's not going to define me. No.
That's dope.
No, man.
It's something about the anticipation. And what you're doing right now is a really good job. Because, you've only been in, Oklahoma, how many months? I mean, solidified Oklahoman?
A month and, couple weeks.
And you've already connected with some amazing people, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so for what you're doing, you're moving with intentionality.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what is different than you just waiting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Because you are ready in and out of season, but you still being able to move with intentionality is I still got the talent, I still got the ability, but I'm waiting for the availability to pop up. You know what I'm saying? So it's that's the thing that's the thing that you're actually getting at right now. And I feel with you connecting with everybody that you've connected with, I think that is what's going to set you apart than just somebody that's I've got the talent, but I'm going to sit on it. You know what I'm saying? That's not something that you need to do. You're not,
Can we do a part 2 to this, man? This come on, man. Right. Come on. No, absolutely. Everything is spot on. I got nothing to add to that. That was prolific. No, I'm being serious. That is the truth. That is the feeling. That is the motivation.
Right.
And I've been seeing that. I've been seeing favor. I've been seeing, because of that passion and not being passive with my passion.
Passive with your passion?
Don't be passive with your passion.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
That's good.
Because I've seen that favor.
Yeah.
Because I'm not passive with my passion. That speaks volumes, man.
Yeah.
It speaks volumes.
Definitely. And it's something about honing your craft. You know what I'm saying? Because whenever you start to hone into it, it just starts becoming natural. And then that really does make you ready in season and out of season.
Because Michael Jordan was good when he got to the NBA, but he was North Carolina good. He wasn't Chicago Bulls good.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He was North Carolina good.
Uh-huh.
because we forget about the years that it took him to get the championship.
And coaches told him that he wouldn't make it, blah, blah, blah.
All of that stuff. So when Michael Jordan's first year in the NBA, he was North Carolina good, but he was not Chicago Bulls good.
Wow.
He got Chicago
That's got to
Bulls
be a
good.
line in a rap.
That has to be.
That's got to be.
That's somewhere.
That's got to be.
That's somewhere.
But it's not.
But it's not. Not yet.
Not yet. That's
but,
right.
I think there's
That's
something.
real, though.
There's something that speaks to that, and you do have to hone your craft.
Yeah.
The reason why I winced when you said that is because that's not an easy season, but it's necessary.
Yeah.
It's
definitely.
necessary.
There's something in the waiting. And there's something in the.
Something in the waiting.
Wow.
Something in the waiting. Shout out Adam. Adam, what's up, man? That's one of the most talented young men in Canada right now who's an actor, Adam Swain. I'm going to shout him out right now. One of the most talented actors that I know. He's currently on the Hardy Boys TV show.
Word.
And A Million Little Things TV show. If you ever heard of those TV shows.
Yeah.
Watch those TV shows. Adam Swain. Remember the name. I got my rhyming, baby. Love you, man. But yeah, man. There's something in the waiting for sure.
Definitely. Okay, so now obviously we're on the kicking game side, but
Kick game.
I want to no, I'm going into a jokey.
Okay, yeah,
but
go ahead.
not in a weird way. But like, you from Canada, bro.
Yeah.
You've got a lot of talented artists from Canada.
Yes, we do.
Who's your favorite like Canada artist?
Favorite Canada? Oh man, I don't really have a favorite. I don't have a favorite.
Yeah, are you just saying that? Just
I
we're in front of people?
do not have a favorite artist.
For real?
I don't. I think every artist, different genre. The thing I love about Canada is we're versatile, so we give a different flavor.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
True.
Justin Bieber does something different than Drake.
We got pop.
Drake
we got
does something
rap,
different than Weeknd.
a little R&B.
Weeknd does something from, Chaos. Chaos does something different from
Party Next Door.
Party Next Door.
Yeah.
So like you're always gonna love the flavor. So you can't. That's
Is
why
it-
when
is
you
it
go to an
magi-
ice cream store, there's all these different flavors, and like, how many flavors do you want? You want 5? You want 3?
Right.
Because there's no favorite.
Wow.
There's only flavors.
I want a whole banana split.
You know what I'm saying? So I like the flavors of artists that come out of Canada.
You know Jim Carrey came out of Canada?
Yeah, he did.
Isn't that wild?
Scarborough, man.
One of my favorites.
Jim Carrey.
That is wild.
Crazy. I think he's from Scarborough.
Who else?
Yeah.
Who else came out of Canada?
Oh my gosh, so many people. Jim Carrey, Mike Myers, Austin Powers.
For real. Explains the accent. Okay.
Christopher Plummer. He just passed away a while back.
Wow.
That's actors from Canada. Actresses. Oh my gosh, I forget. I think Brie Larson is from Canada. Captain Marvel.
Really?
I think she's from Canada. I could be wrong.
You just want to claim that. I understand. Yeah, it is what it is.
Man, there's I got a good friend of mine. I acted with him. His name's Giacomo. He played Dr. Luca on Grey's Anatomy.
Word.
He's out of Canada.
Okay.
Stephon James, Shamir Anderson. So many actors, so many people that are doing amazing things come out of Canada, and you would never know until they start to represent it. So
Wow.
Canada is amazingly talented.
So as an actor, is there one actor that you kind of idolize? Like acting style, like their whole being versatile in all of their acting roles? Like
Robert Downey
anything.
Jr.
Really?
Yeah.
I love. Okay,
Yeah,
see,
yeah,
this
yeah.
is why.
Robert Downey Jr.
For real.
I had to think about it.
Just because he's like hella sarcastic, or what is it?
Sarcastic. He's very grounded and free in what he does.
Ooh, okay.
And I just feel like that comes from a place. He's very mechanical with his acting.
Okay.
There's a lot of gears working behind his acting ability. When you see him on screen, he looks like there's something going on behind his face. Like stuff's working, like stuff's moving.
Okay.
And you're more interested in what he's gonna do next because you're like, I can see him working. I can see his brain working.
Yeah.
What is about to come out of his mouth?
That's wild.
How is it gonna manifest through his body? Yeah. That's just his style of acting.
He's one of my top 5 for sure because I just love Iron Man is like I feel like he's not even acting. because like he seems like he's just that kind of guy.
That's him.
And then like Sherlock Holmes.
Sherlock Holmes,
bro, he's just super sarcastic and like hilarious.
Phenomenal.
No, I feel that. But he's one of my top 5 too. So
I agree.
That's dope. Well, man, is there anything that you would like to? I mean, you know the type of audience that we're in front of. You know the people that even on the podcast we have a whole different crowd pretty much of like young entrepreneurs, people that are coming out of high school. We've got business owners as well that are on this. So if there's anybody out there that you want to speak to, leave them with one line, whatever motivates you besides you getting up and drinking tea and brushing your teeth and then eating food. What is one thing that you base your day off of that motivates you for the rest of your day?
Make time for the people that you love and pause for the people that you're growing in love with. I don't care if you own a business. I don't care if you're an entrepreneur. Making time for the people that you love will stick with you and help you grow in whatever you do.
Yeah.
And pausing to learn how to love people that may be unlovable is worthwhile. That'll reflect in your business transactions. That'll reflect in the businesses that you want to open, the money that you want to make, how you make it, the motive for making it. Relationships are everything.
Wow.
You started that business based off relationships because you wanted to create something to serve people, right?
Right.
And if you wanted it to just serve yourself, it really wasn't serving yourself. You were creating it to serve yourself so you could serve your family.
Right.
I want to generate income so I could help people who are around me.
Right.
So everything you do, everything that you have done as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, as you graduate high school, you did that for other people.
Wow.
Deep down in your subconscious, you are fighting to graduate to make your mom and your dad proud, to make grandma and grandpa proud, right? So all the things that we do are motivated through relationship.
Wow.
Relationship is the epicenter of our existence.
That's real.
So make time for the people that you love and pause for the people that may be difficult to love, but know that love can be won there.
Wow.
So,
that's dope, man. Well, I appreciate your time, my man. And we'll definitely have to do a round 2, man.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
Man, follow him on anything and everything. Where at?
Instagram, you can follow me at Julien Hyacinthe.
Hyacinthe.
That's on Instagram. I'm the
it's
same.
It's like saying the highest synth.
Right.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay. My bad. Go ahead.
I'm the same name on Facebook, and just look out for new things that are coming up.
You want to spell that for the illiterates?
Yeah, hyacinth is pretty much how you spell. I don't know for people that know it's a flower, but you just spell it with an E. But that's Hyacinthe.
Perfect.
And Julien is spelled Julien, not A-N.
Right.
So there's an E instead of an A.
Perfect.
But just to thank you for this. Thank you for any sort of interest in my story as things begin to unfold. I'm grateful for the 1 and I'm grateful for the 1,000. So
definitely.
Yeah,
we appreciate your time, my man.
Thank
and
you.
Do not forget, like, rate, review, subscribe, do all of the things so we can successfully share Julian's story, everything that he's doing and how he's impacting everybody else. It's the robot. I don't know what it is. He's a professional dancer as well. He hasn't put that on his resume yet. But anyways, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of the Generation Y podcast. We'll see you next time.
Peace.